Hello everyone, it's Brad from Freedom Forex Trading. I'm just going to walk you guys through price action for GBPUSD last week, which was the 11th of March through to the 15th. So basically, just to start it off nicely, I will actually explain before I get into it that all these trades I'm going to walk through weren't taken by myself or Dylan. If you guys want to see the trades we take, um, we do trade live every day. So the link, first link in the description will take you to that where you guys can trade live with us every day. We go through our analysis and all the rest of it. These are just the A plus setups that I saw going back and looking at price for the week. So we'll jump straight into it. Now our 15-minute and our 4 hourly is actually very, very bullish. So 4 hourly, very, very bullish at the moment, bullish leg. But coming into the end of last week, we had news, do a run of liquidity, or a big inducement to the upside, which could be a point where we start retracing. So to start the week off on Monday, we had that retracement begin. There was nothing on Monday, still a bit in no man's land here. But then we did get through to Tuesday, we did get a push through and a bit of bearish intention happening. Now, coming into Tuesday, there was no trades again here, very, very slow movement. It did have a huge sell-off, but there was nothing that really fit the criteria here. Just being in the middle of nowhere, there wasn't much structure. It did take some liquidity and then melt off, but nothing that we were looking for there. So sat on our hands and knees basically for Monday and Tuesday, and didn't really take anything with GU at all. It was more just watching. So coming into Wednesday, we started to get a bit of a retracement in that new bearish 15-minute leg that we were working in, really showing that we could get a bit of structure build up, liquidity build up to take something and then continue with that bearish momentum until we hit a demand point that really brings some relative demand into where we want to trade next. So looking at what we had here, what was it, Wednesday, just after Asian session built up liquidity, had a quick sell-off out of supply point. Wasn't anything as for an entry there. It was all pretty all over the place, especially down on those lower time frames. So I'll zoom in and come over to here. No entries. And if anything, because this didn't break external structure, there wasn't a sell here either. We ended up getting that push up back. We got a medium 15-minute inducement, which is like we like to see. And then we got an entry model on our 1 minute here, which actually gave a really nice entry. Now, we went on the charts at this time. This is a bit later in London. We weren't looking specifically here. We were looking at EU. EU was presenting much better opportunities for the week. But this was an entry that we technically missed. So we had an entry model on the 1 minute. Very, very nice entry. It did run 1 to 5 before coming up and hitting break even. So that was the first entry. Without breaking that external, of course, we can't look for sells straight after. We need some liquidity taken. So then we got another 15-minute medium inducement here, which really showed that we've taken some liquidity again and we can look to sell again. Now, price actually gave another 1 minute entry here. I won't walk into it too much if you guys want to. Like I said, be sure to join that live group. But we had lots of liquidity targets below. We had this equal low liquidity pool here. And then we had this trend line build up on the 1 minute just below the entry itself. So this entry was quite clean and did run quite nicely as well. So you had basically a 1 to 6 before it did a bit of a retracement up. But if you've gone break even, especially with our protocols, with how we trade, you're looking at a 1 to 7 before hitting that break even where it continued to come up and really complete most of our cycles through our structural and liquidity cycle, come up into our top supply, which was created on the Tuesday, where price came up, took those equal highs, took that liquidity, and had that big sell-off. Now coming into Friday, we were at an awful point to look for trades. We needed some build up and some movement. So in the start of London session, we didn't really get a lot. Price actually messed about for a bit here. Hadn't even really taken the lows of Asia, but this leg itself was a bullish leg. I just didn't see it as important enough. We hadn't reacted out of anything, and we had, that Asian liquidity at the bottom built up relative equal lows. And you have this trend line to the downside here, which just makes sense to sell into this. So coming into the start of New York, we had these equal highs taken, which actually created a smart money trap as well, which was quite clean. They paid up nicely. We'd taken enough liquidity, internal 5-minute break here. Limit was set. Tapped in here. We also built up some liquidity on the inside here, which was quite nice. But this ran 1 to 4, 1 to 4.6, 1 to 5, basically. And then we're stopped out at break even. From that point, it was just a bit too risky to look for anything. You had that trend line above. Could have quite easily taken that before coming for those lows. So we hadn't a quarter break even, this week was the week of break evens on GU, 1 to 10, possibly with a continuation. So that's the three entries I basically see as A plus entries for this week. Nothing came in the timing we liked, so they're not particularly perfect, but great in the sense of taking liquidity entry models and timing in general being away from Asian session, having liquidity targets and so on. So if there's any questions at all with any of this, make sure you leave a comment down below. Like I said, the first link, you'll be able to join the trading group itself. And yeah, we'll go from there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that and look forward to doing this next week.